Hey guys, welcome back. If you were at last night's live stream for the reveal of Toyota's new Grand Highlander, I really appreciate it. But today we got new details on the plug-in hybrid Prius Prime coming out of Japan. I will be driving it at the end of March, so I'll have full details then. But in the meantime, we got some fresh updates on battery size, electric motor output, and we also have information that Toyota is playing around with the idea again about a GR Prius. So let's get into it. We're at Automotive News. Hans Greimel, their resident journalist in Japan, he had a chance to drive the new Prius Prime. They're already doing journalist test drives over there. The vehicle comes out in March there, and probably around April here stateside for the plug-in hybrid Prius. So they're talking about a GR Sport variant, but they also talk more about a full-fat GR product like a GR Corolla in the form of a Prius, if that makes sense. We got more details on the windshield angle. At the Prius drive, I was told that the rake of the windshield that's swept back is about the same as the LC, but not so fast. It's more aggressive. It's the same angle as Lamborghinis. And Prius chief engineer Yasushi Ueda thinks that there could be a Gazoo racing version of the Prius. Personally speaking, I would like to do it, Ueda said in a recent test drive of the Prius plug-in at a racetrack of all places in Tokyo. He says, but first we have to listen to customer voices and think of what kind of concept we would like to be able to deliver in a GR version. Toyota wants to hear your voices. They do watch my videos, especially when it comes to Prius. So put your intentions for an ideal Prius GR or GR Prius down below. Let's keep reading. Let's get into some of these new details on the plug-in hybrid. We have a 120 kilowatt front axle electric motor and a lithium ion battery of around 13 kilowatt hours. That is a massive jump up from the 8.8 kilowatt hours. It doesn't give us exact specs, but this follows in line what Toyota's been saying, that the new Prius Prime gives us about 50% better electric range. So 13.2 kilowatts does line up with that 50% EPA range on electric only. So I've actually updated the information on the Prius Prime here. We still have 220 horsepower from the new 2-liter setup, but the electric motor on the front, 120 kilowatts equals 161 horsepower. So when you're in electric mode only, that is a massive upgrade compared to, I believe it was around 121 horsepower on the last Prime. So we get 40 more horsepower here. The battery in around 13 kilowatt hours, and this 120 kilowatt / 161 horsepower is a nice upgrade over the 111 horsepower front motor on the standard Prius. So back to the GR Prius. Development head Satoki Oya said the Prius Prime's power would have to rise even further to justify getting the sub-brand's black and red GR badge. So we're currently at 220 horsepower. Honestly, I don't think that much more electrified horsepower going to the front wheels is a good thing. I would love to see more power, well, just any power going to the rear wheels like I mentioned. Oya also said tweaks for the GR Prius would include tightened up suspensions and handling. And don't forget special aero package and racing inspired detailing like funky seat stitching. So they're going into these details. They're like, yes, well, we would have to do this and this and this and this. So then those wheels have been turning in their heads for some time now. However, they said there are still no concrete plans for a GR Prius. But here's the thing. That's also PR speak to an extent. Toyota can't comment on unannounced vehicles. They can talk about hypotheticals to an extent, but even then they really don't like talking about it. The fact that they're this open talking about a GR Prius is quite miraculous, to be honest. But despite my enthusiasm and the excitement of the engineers talking about the GR Prius, it's still probably a 50-50 shot. We have seen sporty Priuses, at least in Japan previously, according to Hans Greimel. We have the Prius Gs from 2011 to 2014. Well, that's a third gen. But again, we didn't get them here. We'll get third gen, but not the Prius G. And you also have from 2017 until just now with the fourth generation Prius, you had the Prius GR Sport. But of course, the powertrain was untouched really, and all the details were cosmetic. But if you're in Japan and you want to soup up your Prius, you can already say like GR parts or GR-ish variants of this vehicle exist. You can get body kits from Modelista. It looks like Modelista has 3 different body kits, but Toyota also has their in-house parts for the Prius as well from GR, or you could say it's actually at trdparts.com, but they have all these upgrades as well that I've covered previously. Really, the only thing that improves performance is going to be the GR performance damper set, and these are from Yamaha. So these are the same I would say quality of dampers that they put on a lot of Lexus products to make them like sport handling or F sport handling package. That's awesome that the Prius also gets that treatment. So here's what I would like to see on the GR Prius, at least when it comes to powertrain: 260 horse, 161 coming from the front motor, 40 coming from the rear motor, and the rest coming from the 2-liter FXS engine. Now, it would be a CVT, but Toyota CVTs are very responsive. They're not the most satisfying compared to a traditional stepped transmission, but if they could do some special tuning to it to kind of fake gear changes, that'd be kind of cool. Fuel economy might go down a little bit, but mid 40s to upper 40s is probably where it would be. Let's put the all-wheel drive on here. Let's put the smaller battery pack, but an updated battery pack from the old Prius Prime in order to fit into the rear motor. Our electric range will go down probably to about 25 to 30 miles of electric range compared to the 40 miles or so of electric range on the standard Prius Prime. Pricing, of course, would force this vehicle to go up market, $45,000, $50,000 for something like this. But man, you'd be able to have a sporty as heck Prius, super fast 0 to 60, probably around 5.5 seconds, we might guess, if not faster. And you'll be able to get 50 miles per gallon on it with 25 miles of plug-in range. That's literally the perfect Prius. Will Toyota make it? Let's keep our fingers crossed. I wanted to finish today's video with Subaru's update on their EVs. As a side note, the Subaru Solterra, there are 314 available in the United States, some topping out as high as $54,000. The entry levels are $46,000, and they don't qualify for the EV tax credit. And when you have Tesla with their price drops and also now qualifying for the EV tax credit, the Subaru Solterra and the BZ4X are harder sales than ever if you want an electric car. They have average range in the low to mid 200s. They have very average recharging speeds, if not a little bit lower than the average. And their acceleration compared to what's out there on the market is not great either. But they're saying that more EVs are coming. Several EVs are coming by 2025. The EV rollout will, of course, lean on Subaru's partnership with Toyota and be further amplified by the expansion of the company's hybrid models as well. We've been waiting for Subaru hybrids for a while. I guess all that we have in the United States, which I believe is being discontinued, is a Crosstrek plug-in hybrid, which also uses Toyota technology. Our main electrification strategy centers on strong hybrids and electric vehicles and introducing such models in the US by 2025. When we look at the US market situation, we will need to offer several models in our EV lineup, and we have shifted our weight toward that in our development. If you missed my previous update on Subaru, they've scrapped the idea of plug-in hybrids, and they're going hybrids or fully battery electric. Subaru said last year wants to drive 40% of its global sales from battery electrics and hybrids by 2030 and apply electrification to all models in the early 2030s. And you have to keep in mind, the United States accounts for 75% of their total sales. But we will have an update soon in the first half of the fiscal year, which starts April 1st. That's also when Akio Toyoda steps down and Koji Sato steps up for Toyota. Subaru will start in-house production of EVs on a mixed production line with internal combustion vehicles in the mid-2020s. And from 2027, it will churn out EVs from a dedicated line being planned for its Japanese plant in the Gunma prefecture. So they're saying by 2025, they'll have several EVs. So what does that mean? Well, since they're not planning on building their own until after 2025 and specifically have their own assembly line by 2027, they're all going to be rebadges from Toyota's BZ lineup. So the Solterra is just one of probably 2 or 3 fully battery electric vehicles that are just a rebadging, still built probably in the Toyota plants as well. Also, Subaru's upcoming hybrids will use Toyota's hybrid system and be made at the Gunma. So at least they're making them on site there. I don't think they would hybridize the Impreza anytime soon, since that is more of a budget-minded car, but the Outback Legacy and Crosstrek, there is a possibility. But that concludes today's video. GR Prius, and if Toyota is to do it, they're looking at a plug-in hybrid Prius Prime. That's pretty cool. Give it all-wheel drive. I'll be a happy camper. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Stay tuned for more Prius updates, especially for my hands-on driving of the Prius Prime, as well as the Corolla Cross Hybrid in about a month and a half from now. Make sure you're subscribed so you don't miss that, as well as all my upcoming Prius coverage. I plan on buying the new 5th generation Prius as soon as it's available here in my area. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Have a great day.